Bizarre Brain Comics.
Well, hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host. And this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. This time, this is the last episode in a series of Batman episodes that I've been doing the last couple weeks. And this is one I hadn't intended doing. I was originally intending that last one, Batman 89, to be the last one. But during this time I was reading some other stuff, and I wanted to briefly cover them as well, some other Batman stuff. So I thought I would do that, try to do it briefly here. One of them here is this issue of The Best of DC, number 62. Is the year's best Batman stories from 1985. So they were covering stories from 84. And I'm just going to briefly cover the first story. And these were all some really good stories. This is, the cat has arrived and he wants something to eat. The Batman stories. Now, this is one of the reasons for why I really like like some of the one and done, or the shorter form storytelling over the longer form storytelling. Because here we have this one digest size comic. It has four stories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, well, 4 stories. That's Batman trivia. And there's some really good stories in this, but the shorter form, you can't do these in the longer form and have something like the best stories, because that take 4 or 5 issues to tell one story or more. Those are fine in their section. Anyway, what I was wanting to get to. Okay, the story we're going to take a brief look at here is called The Player on the Other Side. It is from Batman Special number 1 from 1984. I've got, or at least I think I still have that issue, and that's where I first read it, and that was really good. I thought that was really good. And this was written by Mike W. Barr with art by Michael Golden and Mike DiCarlo. And it's basically about Batman's opposite number, his equal and opposite number, where he works for as a crime fighter. In a way, it's like Professor Moriarty to Sherlock Holmes, if you understand that metaphor. He is the beginning of the story here. Their origins go back to the same day, 25 years before this story takes place. One is when, and it says here, the top is the story of young Bruce Wayne, and the bottom is the story of the young boy who becomes the Wrath. And it tells us for a few pages here, whereas a thief murdered Bruce Wayne's parents, which prompted him to become Batman. And here it shows his growing up and his training and stuff to become the Batman. Here it shows that this boy's parents were thieves, and they were killed by a police officer while in the midst of committing a crime, and the officer shot them in self-defense because they fired on him, and they had the boy with them, so he witnessed their deaths. And as we find out later, that officer turns out to be a young Jim Gordon, and he is in the juvenile justice system, grows up becoming a criminal, but he trains himself to become the ultimate criminal, and is eventually. Then we see here. Then we see the Batman, and here we see the Wrath, and they even wind up looking similarly. And in it, there has been attempts on Commissioner Gordon's life. Turns out that the Wrath is a paid assassin, and he is being paid to assassinate Commissioner Gordon by a criminal who the criminal's daughter, the criminal himself, the mob boss, has died, and she blames Gordon, even though I don't think he had anything to do with it. But it's also vengeance for the Wrath. And a couple officers that have been killed during these attempts, and you can see here, he has the same silhouette as the Batman. He has a costume and a cape and a cowl that makes the W for the Wrath on his face in the mask, which gives him the pointy bat-like ears. And some real nice artwork telling this story, and we find out about that the Wrath is involved in a relationship with his client, and Batman has figured out that this is what he has been concerned with his whole life, finding his opposite number, and having to deal with them. And but this guy figures out who Batman is, and so starts coming after Batman to throw him off, to trying to find Commissioner Gordon, because Batman has Commissioner Gordon squirreled away in hiding somewhere, and he's shatters the memorial at the grave, at Martha and Thomas Wayne's grave, and the client starts hiring a bunch of other guys just to keep other street punks to try to find Commissioner Gordon, which is actually how kind of leaves Batman in disguise, gives him his clues. He finds out who the client is, and then finds out that the Wrath is finding out, doing his assault against Batman to find Commissioner Gordon. Attacked Alfred and Wayne Manor, and now is after Dr. What's her name? Friend, I suddenly can't remember her name. Oh man, I suddenly can't remember her name. But yeah, the doctor who was kind to young Bruce Wayne, and knows that in some versions she knows that Bruce Wayne is the Batman, and he gets there just in time to save her. But he's got a plan. He was going to give up Commissioner Gordon, and he shoots and kills Commissioner Gordon, or so it seems. Then he and Batman go head to head, because Batman has been handcuffed, but he had wasn't just as simple as that. And the Commissioner had a bulletproof vest on, which saved him. So they're engaged in battle on the top of the building, and the cops blowers. They can't tell which is which because they have the same silhouette. But in the fight, he has a bomb which goes off, lights the building on fire, and they fight, and his costume catches fire and results in the Wrath falling to his own death. But I think the Wrath does come back later, but I don't know how. I don't know those stories. But I thought this was such a good story. Leslie Tompkins, yeah, that was her name, and but he saved her, and that was such a good story. It has some other good stories in here, like one with Gene Colan, and some others. Now the second one we're looking at is from Batman Adventures. Of course, Batman Adventures was based on the Batman the Animated Series. And they've had a few different runs. You stay down, kitty cat. You're going to get in trouble. I know what you're trying to do. He's trying to get my attention to feed him. I will in a couple of minutes. And this is Batman Adventures Volume 2, also a digest-sized book from 2004 called Shadows and Masks, featuring Batman Adventures issues 5 through 9 from 2003 and 2004 with several writers. And this also includes some short stories, mostly as backups. There were backups. So I'm not sure which is which. Vito Del Santi, Don Slott, Gabe Soria, and Ty Templeton as writers, and artists Terry Beatty, Rick Burkett, Dean Haspiel, and Ty Templeton. And the cat is going to get in trouble here. It's some nice artwork. Of course, it's in the style of the animated series, but they're actually in this overall storyline. There he goes. You're right in the way. Move. No, move. He wants me. Okay, Shadows and Masks, and you actually see very little of Batman as Batman here because he's undercover as Matches Malone. He gets has friend informant Eel O'Brien get him a job. Of course, Eel doesn't know that it's the Batman. Of course, Eel O'Brien is someone who we know later becomes Plastic Man, and it involves the Penguin in his bid to become the mayor. It has the Mask of the Phantasm, or the Phantasm. It's the what do they call them? The Masked Gang. I forgot. Each one has a different mask, and you're in the way, kitty cat. You're gonna cause trouble. Boo. And this is I think it's a really good story. He's mostly in, like I said, undercover. They have all these various villains who cause problems in Gotham City, and Bats is trying to take down this mask gang. From the Black Mask. That's a backup story. Playing with Matches. Yeah, he's Matches Malone. Even with what's his name? Firefly is one of them, and he's a goon there. But he winds up saving a young lady against the boss's wishes. Winds up getting her a job, because of the place that was set on fire. And she winds up liking Matches Malone until eventually she has to learn that he's a bad guy. But one by one he takes down all these bad guys until it's finally the Black Mask, and he blames Bruce Wayne. Even Batgirl is assisting him, and it turns out that the Phantasm was there to ultimate working, because even the Black Mask has another boss that we don't know about, and the Phantasm is basically to take him down, take the Black Mask down, and take his place. And he smashes into the Wayne Foundation, taking a bunch of people hostage. This is with Matches Malone, Batman, right there. Eel O'Brien says, "I ain't have nothing to do with murder." But finally, Matches Malone takes him down right there, and this is when the girl finds out that he's one of the bad guys, not knowing, of course, that he's actually the good guy. And Batman hunts him down in the basement with the Phantasm there. they have a little confrontation. The Phantasm gets away. The Black Mask is taken down. But then, right at the very last, we find out who the boss of the bosses is the Red Hood. What happens next? I don't know, because I don't think I have the next volume. But the story was really told so well, and then has a bunch of several shorter backup stories, some related to that storyline and some not. But it all makes for some fun. And it's both long form and short form writing in here. Now that's one that is real good in the long form story. This one features some really good stories told in the short form story format. And I really recommend them both. Some nice artwork all the way around, and some real good storytelling, visual storytelling, and great writing. And so that's all I wanted to share with you this time around. And thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe, leave your comments down below. Are you familiar with either of these particular properties? Let me know in the comments below what you think, what you thought, what's good, what's not. And remember, comics are art.